How much money will you need to support yourself when your work life is over? We all want to sleep well at night knowing we'll have enough money to pay the bills and enjoy life in our senior years. That's why retirement security is relevant to you and everyone you know. There was a man who worked for a state university. His first day on the job, he was given a form with two options for saving for retirement as a supplement to Social Security. Option 1 was a government pension fund. It would give him lower returns on investment, but with less risk. The second option was a private retirement account. He would take more risks, but get higher returns. Fast forward 40 years, he was ready to retire, but he'd forgotten which box he'd checked. He wondered which would have been the better choice. Radicals, conservatives, and liberals absolutely agree that seniors are economically vulnerable, and they share the same goal of care and peace of mind for the elderly, but they strongly disagree on how to achieve that end. That's what all the fights are about when it comes to retirement security. It's time to hear the voices.
So, about the box the man checked. It makes no difference because neither one offers security. In capitalism, workers choose gambling or mismanagement. Private accounts can be wiped out by a market crash or scam. Pension funds can be bankrupted, raided by profiteers, and threatened by corrupt politicians. And because workers are exploited throughout their careers, their retirement savings are drastically lower than they should be. The big difference between capitalism and democratic socialism is that we don't leave anyone behind. We recognize that we're mutually dependent on one another, so we allocate resources to ensure that everyone's basic material needs are met by society from the cradle to the grave. No one is abandoned in old age because there's a commitment to social safeguards. These are both a right for all and a responsibility that we fund together during our working years. Everyone is guaranteed high-quality care and a decent income in our golden years. The beauty of this economic system is the investment we make in one another to improve everyone's quality of life. Retirement security is not tied to the income we earned, it's tied to our humanity. Conservatives, when you leave a retiree's financial security in the hands of private markets, it's like you're picking their pockets after a lifetime of mugging them on payday. No one wins with your private retirement accounts. In free market capitalism, the poor don't have a penny to spare, and the wealthy are one stock market crash away from destitution. Plus, your so-called healthy return on investment comes from exploiting workers, profiting from child labor, and dragging us closer to extinction from global climate change. Throughout our working lives, the drive for profit runs us over, and when we're old and no longer productive, we're dumped by the side of the road. Then conservatives pull over and deliver a sanctimonious lecture. You bought those expensive lattes and went to Disneyland. You brought this on yourself. It's a classic blame the victim scenario. And when there's nothing more to steal, retirees are left to fend for themselves. And liberals, your broken social security system is no safeguard against poverty and old age. There's no guarantee that workers will actually receive their benefits. Even if you manage to keep the program limping along, it can never be fixed because Social Security is built on a warped foundation. The exploited wages of workers and taxes that burden the poor. And by design, it only returns a meager benefit. It's wrong that elders have to choose between buying food or buying medicine. Pensions and private retirement accounts won't make up the shortfall in income for seniors. Investing in the stock market is like gambling at the craps table. And pensions are treated like piggy banks for corporate executives and top-down government officials. The failure of liberal policies is all around us. Witness the millions of seniors suffering in poverty because there's no true safety net in fair market capitalism. Here's what we should do to ensure care and peace of mind for the elderly. Use a universal basic pension. The UBP recognizes that everyone makes valuable contributions to society, whether they spend their working years unloading trucks, finding cures for diseases, or raising children. Because we know our financial futures are secure, We're free to leave an unsatisfying job to start something new. We can take a risk without worrying that we'll end up poor in old age. Democratic socialism guarantees retirement security and funds it through progressive taxes. We also use optional worker-owned pension plans to supplement the UBP, which gives retirees even more discretionary income. But in any case, the UBP alone provides everyone the means to enjoy their golden years with dignity. So, about the box the man checked. Private retirement accounts are the only way that he'd have true financial security. The historical rate of return on private investments is leagues ahead of the returns on government-controlled funds, not to mention the risk of bureaucrats changing the rules of those pension plans on a whim. Our future financial well-being is only secure when we control it ourselves. Complete privatization of retirement savings and free market capitalism puts more money in the hands of elders and gives them autonomy, choice, security, and prosperity. During our working years, we build our nest eggs by investing in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. It's a fact that no one cares more about our retirement savings than we do. So it makes sense that we're the captains of our own ships. We don't need a business degree to succeed because there's plenty of guidance available. And not just elders, but the whole nation is better off when individuals take charge of funding their own golden years. Private investment accounts grow the economy, which means we don't have to make painful trade-offs. We get new assisted living facilities without sacrificing national security. Liberals, your Social Security program is a reckless Ponzi scheme. You tax today's workers to pay today's retirees. The money we're forced to hand over to the government during our working years isn't invested in accounts under our names. It isn't waiting for us to spend in retirement. No, our money is irresponsibly spent, irresponsibly loaned out, and irresponsibly managed. With elders living longer and fewer young people entering the workforce, this so-called fair market safety net is a sinking ship. We even know exactly when the fund will run dry. But we can't jump into a lifeboat because we're not allowed to opt out. While this liberal program whittles away our paychecks, promises unrealistic payouts, and give us incentives to retire early, it also demotivates firms to create jobs. It shrinks the economy without actually giving us retirement security. It's time to cancel Social Security. And you radicals love to say democratic socialism creates well-being. But what it actually creates is a totalitarian state where the masses have no say over their own retirement security. You style yourselves as defenders of workers, yet your authoritarian government continually steals their hard-earned money and redistributes it to slackers. Your universal basic pension is an economic sinkhole that teaches us to expect something for nothing. Our retirement benefit is exactly the same, whether we go to work or stay home and do nothing. So there's no motivation to be productive during our working years. And those optional worker-owned pension plans? Radicals once again take money out of our individual control. Instead of getting more in our paychecks that we can save as we wish, it's siphoned off by firms. Every way you turn in democratic socialism, there's no freedom to ensure our own solid financial future. Here's what we should do to ensure care and peace of mind for the elderly. Use private retirement accounts. Instead of handing a big chunk of our income to the government, we're set free to manage our own retirement funding. We diversify our portfolios and choose the level of risk that suits our age, savings goals, and personal preferences. So no one has to worry about investments being wiped out. And in the rare case of seniors needing more help, philanthropy provides a reliable safety net. With private retirement accounts in a free market environment, we have the best of all possible worlds. The freedom to control our own money, grow it for our retirement, spend it as we want, and pass it on to our heirs. So, about the box the man checked. With Social Security as a fail-safe to meet our basic material needs, either one is a solid choice. Social Security gives us the freedom to pick the saving strategy that makes us feel most secure. It's a matter of our personal comfort with risks and rewards. When there's appropriate government oversight, public pensions and private retirement accounts are both reliable options. We're incredibly lucky to have a government that works on our behalf to make our golden years secure. In fair market capitalism, people save in the National Retirement Program during their productive years. Plus, the government offers a variety of creative tax and benefit programs that motivate us to save on our own and build our nest eggs. Both strategies give everyone the right incentives to work hard and save for the future. And having a social safety net frees us to take entrepreneurial risks because if they don't pan out, we know we'll still be able to afford the basic necessities in old age. Longer careers, more investment in businesses, and new innovations all grow the economy. That means we get more of everything, including financial security for seniors. Radicals, your universal basic pension fails because you give it to everyone, whether they worked hard or not. But we don't have to worry, since this dreadful idea of a UBP can never be funded anyway. There's no tax base to support it when nothing is produced. It's guaranteed that people in democratic socialism are unmotivated to contribute during their productive years. The lazy don't bother working hard in a profit-phobic society. The rare few who actually manage to stoke the fires of ambition in themselves quickly find that flame snuffed out, because no one wants to feel like a chump. On top of that, because the UBP promises full financial security in retirement, no one bothers to save on their own, and firms have no real stake in creating supplemental workplace pensions. Instead of lifting us up, radicals condemn us to poverty at every stage of life. And conservatives, stop twisting the meaning of an entitlement. Social Security is not, and never has been, a program of handouts to freeloaders. All workers pay in, and all workers are entitled to get it back in retirement. You continually try to get rid of a program that's built on the American tradition of hard work and reward. You tell us to put our nest eggs in the basket of free market private retirement accounts. But without government oversight, which you reject on principle, firms prey on the elderly and mismanage their money. Plus, every decade or so, a speculative bubble in the stock market or another crisis wipes out people's life savings. We should never require seniors to play musical chairs with their retirement security. When the music stops, some are left with nothing. And there's no safety net to fall back on because conservatives canceled it. Here's what we should do to ensure care and peace of mind for the elderly. Strengthen Social Security and improve incentives for supplemental private retirement savings. Because it's designed to be supplemented by PRAs and pensions, it's the ultimate diversification strategy. Social Security is a vital safety net for all working people, and it keeps tens of millions of seniors out of poverty. It also supports innovations that benefit society. The Social Security Fund is borrowed and paid back by the government to pay for research and development. Think, the internet, microchips, GPS, and wind power, to name a few. To keep this cornerstone of our retirement security viable, we continually require everyone to pay their fair share. That's how we're protected in our golden years.
You've just heard the arguments about retirement security from 3 perspectives. They all want care and peace of mind for the elderly, but they have very different ways of achieving that goal. Now, it's time for you to be part of the conversation.